Right now on Denver 7 News at 5, 20 people gunned down at a dance studio in California. Another ballroom nearby also under attack. We take you live to the scene to learn about the alleged gunman.
And police still on the hunt for the person who shot and killed a Loveland teen.
Nas was a really kind-hearted people person. He cared a lot about people's emotions and their mental health.
We hear from friends who are desperate for answers.
Slavery was legal, but that didn't make it right. The same goes for abortion.
On the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade, the fight over abortion continues.
We have seen tremendous numbers of folks come out and support and make sure that abortion access is secured.
Denver 7 News at 5 starts now.
We begin with breaking news out of Los Angeles County, California. A mass shooting at Monterey Park leaves 10 people dead and 10 others injured during a Lunar New Year celebration.
Another news conference is scheduled in just half an hour. We will carry that live. Now, at this time, police have not said if the suspect is still on the run or if someone has been arrested. We do know that about 2 hours ago, there was a standoff, and police now say that standoff is over.
ABC's Tim Pulliam is on scene in Monterey Park for us. Tim, what are you hearing?
So what I'm hearing, Jacqueline and Bayan, is that investigators say the gunman shot and killed 5 men and 5 women here behind me, and they are still trying to determine his motive.
Look at this aerial view showing the moment police surround a white van in a standoff with the possible mass shooting suspect. Once tactical teams moved in, police tell ABC News they found a man dead inside, believed to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It's unclear if it is the suspected shooter.
Could it be our suspect? Possibly. But at this point, if we're doing our jobs correctly, we're not only looking at that situation or scenario, but we're making sure that we're looking at any and every possibility.
Today, authorities releasing the murder suspect's image, but not his name. Overnight, 10 people killed and at least 10 injured in a mass shooting near Los Angeles.
I got approximately 10 deceased.
Crews rushing to the scene outside this dance studio, treating victims in the parking lot. Survivors rushed to the hospital. Authorities say their condition ranged from critical to stable. Witnesses describe the terror.
It sounded like a very heavy artillery weapon.
The shooter going on a violent rampage inside the Star Dance studio.
You're safe. I'm scared. We feel so safe. How come? What happened?
Moments before the deadly attack, people in this predominantly Asian American community celebrating the Lunar New Year nearby. Authorities say they are investigating if a second incident at another ballroom in a neighboring suburb is tied to the shooting.
As we're looking for this suspect, we will not forget the victims and survivors.
So far, investigators not saying if the attack was a racial hate crime. The FBI is now involved.
And investigators are trying to determine if the shooter knew any of the victims. Day 2 of the Lunar Festival here is canceled. Jacqueline.
All right, Tim. And do we know right now, are any other Lunar New Year's events like this one happening or being canceled because of what we saw happen today?
So there are several other Lunar New Year festivals happening in the city, and the sheriff is really discouraging people from canceling those events. He even attended one earlier today. He added some extra security to give some people some sense of security and hope.
All right,
Jacqueline.
Tim, thank you so much. Digging into the numbers now, there have been more than 30 mass shootings in the U.S. since the start of the new year. The Monterey Park shooting makes number 33. Now, that data is from the Gun Violence Archive, which defines a mass shooting as at least 4 victims shot. And we will continue to update this developing story on Denver 7 Plus. Get your news on your favorite streaming device. And if you have a Samsung TV, we're live on channel 1035.
Denver 7 weather right now. It's nice out there right now, a little bit of sunshine, but that is about to change. We want to make sure you are safe on your morning commute to work tomorrow, so we've made this weather action day.
Yeah, where'd the sun go? Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joins us now. Stacey, we've got some snow on the way.
We do. There's a low pressure area on cold front coming this direction. It's just off to our west, and today we enjoyed nice sunshine here for the Front Range and the plains. But as this cold front and associated storm comes into Colorado, we have a chance for for some snow. Now, it will be heavy into southern Colorado, 6 to 10 inches with a winter weather advisory in effect for tonight and tomorrow. But here for the Front Range and even up in the mountains, we don't have any watches or warnings. This is going to be some light snow, but it could have high impact because of when it's going to occur. 17 will be our overnight low. We'll have the snow start after midnight tonight into the early morning hours. So for Monday morning, from about 4 a.m. on up to about 8 a.m., we have a chance for some light snow. And this, as it's occurring during the rush hour, could make for really slippery conditions on our roadways, bridges, and overpasses especially. So we wanted to keep you out ahead of this, even though we're expecting light amounts of snowfall. I'll let you know how much to expect in your neighborhood coming up.
We'll see you soon, Stacey. You can get the latest weather updates sent straight to your phone by downloading the Denver 7 News app. You can do that by scanning the QR code on your screen with your smartphone right now. The Denver 7 News app is available for free in the Apple Store or on Google Play.
Let's get to local news now. A crime that has shaken the city of Loveland. Police are still searching for this truck you're looking at here today. They say it's connected to the shooting of 2 teenage boys Friday night, killing one of them. This happened at the Brookstone apartment homes in Loveland. An 18-year-old was killed and a 16-year-old was injured. Now today, Christian Lopez spoke to a friend of the 18-year-old who died.
And they're devastated right now. Family and friends are just desperate to bring the people who shot and killed Nasir Graham to justice.
People have been stopping by to pay their respects at this memorial at the apartment complex. One friend of his saying that everyone who knew him loved him.
Still was so bubbly. He was so kind.
This teen, who preferred not to be identified, is still processing the tragedy that took the life of her friend, 18-year-old Nasir Graham.
He only wanted the best for people. So hearing about it was really, really saddening. It was tragic and it's upsetting.
Graham was shot and killed right in front of his home at the Brookstone apartment complex Friday.
It's kids that you grow up with, and it's something that you don't expect in the community that you seem to find so safe.
We spoke to Nasir's grandmother off camera. She lives at the complex. She says the suspects who were in this Dodge Ram pickup shot her grandson and then stole his car.
He was removed from the vehicle, and 2 individuals got into that vehicle, and both the Dodge Ram pickup and the carjacked vehicle drove around the complex.
That is when police say the suspects crashed into a second victim's car on the other side of the complex. There was a verbal altercation and a 16-year-old was shot. He is still in the hospital.
There's no indication that the first or second victims would have known the individuals that did the carjacking and the subsequent shooting.
Loved ones are asking anyone who knows anything to come forward.
Speak up and bring justice to the 2 victims and Nas. He had a very full life ahead of him and a lot of big plans, and really anything helps, and bringing justice to him and his family and all of their condolences would be the most of help.
And while we've been here, we have seen how neighbors in this community have been comforting Graham's grandmother during this extremely difficult time. She is asking for those 3 suspects to be held accountable. She wants justice for her grandson. Reporting in Loveland, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
And if you know anything or if you recognize the truck investigators say is involved, you can contact Loveland Police, and the tip line is right here on your screen. Now let's get to Denver, where police are investigating a deadly crash involving 2 drivers. This happened after 2 a.m. near University in Bucktail. One of the drivers was killed at the crash, and police have not yet said what caused the incident.
All right, new at 5. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of an inmate at the county jail. It happened Friday when a deputy found a female inmate unresponsive in her cell. Now, despite medical care, the inmate died. The sheriff's office did not identify the inmate or say what caused her death.
The family of an Aurora woman murdered more than 30 years ago is now fighting to keep her killer behind bars. Last month, Governor Polis granted clemency to this woman, Robin Ferris. She was convicted of first-degree murder of her former girlfriend, Beatrice King, in 1990. King's family tells me today they will fight early parole at the hearing this week.
We don't have my sister. She can't get out. I've read several articles where one of them said that they have a car waiting there for her when she gets home. We have no sister. she can't come home. We visit a grave. So I think it's unfair. My thing is, do your 40 years. You did the crime. You thought about it. You followed through, and you left her there. You did the crime. So you do your time.
Ferris was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 40 years. If the parole board rules in her favor on Wednesday, she would be out about 8 years early.
All right. Today marks what would have been the 50th anniversary of the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade decision.
Now, though the court overturned that decision last summer, Denver 7's Brandon Richards shows the debate over abortion rages on in Colorado.
7 months have passed since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the right to an abortion and sent the issue back to the states. The Guttmacher Institute, which tracks abortion policies, says 24 states have either banned or will likely ban abortion, but it remains legal in Colorado.
Anybody who can get to us, we will care for.
Dr. Christina Tossi is with Planned Parenthood of the Rocky Mountains. She says since Roe was overturned, they've seen a surge of patients coming to Colorado.
We have seen approximately 37% of our patients that we see now in Colorado are from out of state.
According to the Society of Family Planning, Colorado saw a 33% increase in abortions last year, driven in large part by people traveling from out of state.
People are traveling. They are traveling tremendous different distances and having to overcome so many barriers to access a basic aspect of healthcare.
Because Colorado is seen as a refuge for those seeking to get an abortion, some Democratic state lawmakers have talked about expanding access and doing more to protect abortion providers from lawsuits.
So ending an unborn baby's life, which is what happens in an abortion, cannot be called healthcare. Slavery was legal, but that didn't make it right. The same goes for abortion.
Will Duffy with Colorado Right to Life, which protested outside a Planned Parenthood clinic in Denver this weekend, says the overturning of Roe was a victory for those like him who are against abortions. But he says the fight is far from finished.
Abortion is the intentional killing of a unique human being, and killing an innocent person, even if it's before they are born, is wrong no matter what the law says. So abortion must be stopped.
Sunday marked 50 years since the Supreme Court issued its Roe v. Wade decision. And though it's no longer the law of the land, demonstrations held on both sides this weekend show the abortion debate is nowhere close to being settled in this new post-Roe world. Reporting in Denver, Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
Brandon, thank you. Digging into the numbers now, more than 11,500 Colorado women had an abortion in 2021. While abortion remains a right here, no matter the circumstances, there are restrictions when it comes to paying for them. Under Colorado law, abortion is not covered in insurance policies for public employees. Public funding is available for abortions only in cases of life endangerment, rape, or incest. There are also restrictions when it comes to minors. Parents or legal guardians must be notified about a minor seeking an abortion. However, a minor can petition a judge to not notify their parents. Now, Colorado is just one of a handful of states without any term restrictions. In 2020, Coloradans voted no at the ballot boxes for making abortion illegal after 22 weeks.
And coming up, more classified information found in President Biden's home.
The types of documents seized and reaction from the president's lawyer. Next.